Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out another high-res audio wireless certified pair of earbuds. And the pair that we're going to check out are the Neural Nex One L. And the L on this pair actually stands for LDAC series, and we've seen a pretty good amount of LDAC certified earbuds lately. And this is important because it's finally time that earbuds are focusing more on audio quality, and I noticed that a lot more with this pair than I have some of the other ones. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to really talk about what all other features this pair has and see if it can be worth the pretty high asking price of $200. So to start with, this is a Japanese company. We have checked out some of their earbuds in the past. With those pairs, it was definitely an audio-focused pair, so it already got me interested in this company. And when I saw that they had an LDAC certified pair of earbuds, it already caught my attention. Now, this pair is available in both black and white, and I actually have both versions here, and they really do have a nice, clean, subtle look to them. And when you pick up the case, you'll notice like it really feels like there's no weight at all. It's kind of got like a rubber texturized grip to it, so it's not a slippery case. They're using the same texture on the earbuds as well. And the case I actually like. It's a flat case, although it's not like the tiniest case. But on the side, you can see the USB-C input for charging. Then around on the front, it has a few indicator lights. And the earbuds themselves, they actually use wingtips. And because they're lightweight and because they use those wingtips, these earbuds do not move. They stay in my ears very well. They're extremely comfortable. It does use touch controls, and I am happy to say that they give you control over everything right out of the box. So you don't have to go within their app that they do have, which is nice. Some other things about this pair is it does have Bluetooth 5.3 and it does have multi-point connection. So you can be connected to more than one device at a time. Now, another thing that makes this pair interesting is it's using a 10mm dynamic driver, but it has a liquid crystal polymer film over it. And the reason they're using this is it's for a more pure sound. It's trying not to give you too much of one thing over the other. It's subduing some things from being too harsh or from having any kind of distortion. And we'll talk about this a little bit more once we actually get to the sound. Now, going back to talking about Neural's app, which is the Neural Connect app, and honestly, there's not really a whole lot going on here. Now, you can keep your earbuds updated, which is nice. You also can go in and customize the EQ settings. Now, it does have a couple of preset EQ settings, but really it's more made to just dial it in the way that you want. You also have different active noise canceling presets, but then you also have a slider that you can take it from like minimum to max depending on how much you want to block out around you. And the same thing with the transparency mode. You do have some presets there as well. You can tell that one is mainly for like an environment to kind of just hear the things around you. And you can tell that the other one is trying to focus in a little more on vocals and people talking. So if you're going to carry on a conversation, this is the mode that you would switch it in to do that. But the app also allows you to switch it into a gaming or low latency mode. So if you're looking to use your earbuds for movies, videos, or games, this is definitely the mode that you would want to switch it in. But do also keep in mind this is going to kill your battery life because it's trying to strengthen up that connection where you're not going to be able to get as far away from your device, but it's going to give you more of an instant reaction to be able to hear almost exactly when something is happening on your screen. Now, another thing that makes this pair unique is they're using what they call an M2 neural driver, and this is something that avoids having the noise canceling affect your audio. If you're somebody that's tested out noise canceling headphones or noise canceling earbuds, you will always know as soon as you turn the noise canceling on, it definitely affects the music you're listening to. It usually adds a little bit of warmth or a little bit of bass, and it usually closes in your audio. And they're trying to avoid this by spending a lot of time focusing on that. Now, what I have noticed is it's kind of kept the noise canceling from being as strong as I think that it can be. I think the noise canceling is doing a decent job on this pair, but for the $200 price tag, I wouldn't recommend these off noise canceling alone. I think it does a decent job with like engine noises and AC units and anything that has like that lower rumble to it. But people talking or if a TV's on, you're going to hear that just the same as you would any pair of earbuds. So do keep that in mind. And the transparency mode is also just okay. Now I can tell the mics are pretty sensitive, so you can hear a decent amount of white noise if there's nothing playing, but it does a good job of being able to hear your surroundings, and I also feel like I can easily carry on a conversation without actually having to take the earbuds out. So from a noise canceling and a transparency, aspect, I think they're decent. I just wouldn't make that the main selling point on these earbuds. Now, if you are going to use these outdoors, it does have an IPX4 rating, which is kind of the norm with any pair that has noise canceling, which really means it's fine against rain and splashes and sweat and things like that. But this isn't one of those pairs that you can submerge into water. Now, as far as what all they've included in the box, you do get 4 sets of silicone ear tips, and it's what they call their Block Ear Plus 7 ear tips. Now, Neural, we've kind of seen in their other earbuds that I've reviewed, they actually gave me a couple of different style of ear tips, so they do focus on making sure the ear tips definitely match the style of earbuds and what they're trying to do. Now, also in the box, they include 3 sets of wing tips. This is just to kind of keep the earbuds in place, so this is nice if you're going to use these while running or going to the gym. And then as far as the charging cable, it comes with a USB-C cable, but luckily you don't have to keep up with this cable because this case is a Qi wireless charging case, so you can just come in, drop these on any wireless charger, and they will start charging. But speaking of the charging, the battery life on these is definitely all over the place, and it's because there's so many different ways that you can use these. Now, if you use these with the noise canceling turned off, you can actually squeeze about 7.5 hours out of the earbuds. If you're going to use them with the LDAC mode on, it's going to bring it all the way down to 5.5. And then if you're going to use noise canceling on top of that, it's going to bring it all the way down to about 5 hours on the earbuds. Now, 5 hours is still going to get most people through a day, but the max that you're going to get with the earbuds and the charging case is only 20 hours. Now, that is definitely on the weaker side compared to a lot of the other earbuds that we've tested, and I didn't see any information where there is a fast charge feature on here. So again, at that $200 price tag, you already feel like you're kind of missing out on some features that you would expect, even compared to a lot of the more inexpensive pairs out there. Now, if you are going to use this pair for taking phone calls, I do think the mics on here are doing a pretty decent job. Again, I think it kind of falls in line with the noise canceling and the transparency mode where it's just okay. It's not some of the best that I've heard, but I think it does a good job of focusing in on my voice and then blocking out a lot of the sounds around me. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. So here is the mic test using the Neural Next ones, and again, I think it's just okay. I don't think it's going to blow anybody away when it comes to the sound quality, but I don't think that anybody on the other end of the line is going to have any problems hearing. So this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is the mic test for the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's talk about the sound, because when I mentioned earlier that I felt like Neural is taking a different approach, especially with having that LDAC, most of the earbuds that I've tested to this point with the LDAC on it has been more about just bringing a lot of dynamics, bringing you like really aggressive punchy bass and really bright treble. And the Neural is taking that approach of it wants it to sound pure. It wants it to sound like something is not taking over anything else. The bass on these are pretty tight. It's not overly aggressive, so I think if you're a bass head, you might feel like these are lacking. Luckily, though, they do respond to EQing very well, so you can dial that up if you want to. But the sound out of the box is a very tight, punchy bass. It hits you, then it moves on pretty quick, and that matches up very, very well with the treble that's on these, which is a fairly bright treble. Now, this isn't a treble that's near the point of being harsh, but you can tell that the bass is slightly bumped up and the treble is slightly bumped up to kind of match that. And the mids on here, I was extremely impressed with. I think this pair of earbuds is some of the best that I've heard when it comes to vocalists and certain instruments that the mids pull out. So again, it kind of has that natural tone to it. It doesn't sound overly aggressive one way or the other. I don't want to say that it's like reference or flat. It's still far from that. But as far as the soundstage and the sound imaging, now this is another area that you can tell Neural really focused on. And this is with the noise canceling on or the noise canceling off. This is a very wide sounding earbud, and it does an excellent job of being able to tell where different sounds are coming from. If you're somebody that listens to a lot of different genres and you're not a bass head, this is easily one of the best sounding earbuds out there. But if you are a bass head, that is where I don't think these really stand out. When it comes to pop and hip hop, because it's not overly aggressive with the low end, I would give these a 7. When it comes to rock and metal, which I think these fit very well with because they are a very fast pair of earbuds, I give them a 9 in this category. And same thing with easy listening. Because it's clean, because it's detailed and not bass driven, this is a 9 when it comes to those genres as well. And then kind of again, the same thing with gaming and movies and any type of media, because it has that gaming mode and you can cut down lag and cut down latency, and the mids are pushed up where you can hear dialogue extremely well, I give it a 9 here as well. So outside of that pop and hip hop category, I think they excel in so many different genres. And really that kind of leans it towards my overall rating being an 8, which I think is very impressive, especially from a company that most people aren't going to know about. So if there is a huge negative, I think that's going to be the first thing. It does lack on a fast charge feature. The ANC is not, it's not impressive. I think the ANC is just okay. And the app is generic. There's nothing flashy about this app. It looks like it was just set up just to work and nothing else. It's not really to draw anybody's attention. But if you can look past those things, the sound quality is fantastic. So if sound is your top priority, I can easily recommend these. They definitely compete with the Sony, the Bose, the Sennheisers, the Neurotrue, like anything sound quality wise, I would match these up with. And even in the bass department, if you don't mind going in and playing around with the EQ settings, you can get these to match those much more expensive earbuds. So that's where I see the value in this pair. And overall, I was just left very impressed. But guys, that's my video on the Neural Next One L series. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.